Hey y'all, what's going on? What is up? What is up? What is up? We are here for us to have a quick chat about Kiki Palmer's
What's
interview that
going
she did with the
on? What is up?
girls.
What is up? What is up?
She did an interview with Olandria, that is Chelley and Olandria of y'all Love Island USA. Why I want to say Real Housewives of Potomac? Why do I want to say that when them ladies ain't thinking about me? Like, why am I trying to put them out here and they ain't even finished filming their season yet? Like, what's going on? Anywho, we're here to chat about the interview, and I really want to know how you guys felt about the interview. Like, what were your thoughts about it? I did get a chance to catch the podcast last night because Kiki did drop it last night, and then earlier this morning I did see where she dropped the actual video over there on her page. So I definitely went over there, slid over there, and I checked it out again because I wanted to get like some reactions and stuff like that. So that's all. It was cool. It was cool. First of all, I have to say the ladies looked absolutely gorgeous. Okay, they came in there stepping. Olandria's posture as she just sat up, I was like, "Bit." The way she just kept it, like it was giving every bit of poise. What's going on, GT? What's up? As she came in and she was giving every bit of poise, sitting up straight, like I don't know. It was like she was at a pageant or something. You know how you got to have a certain type of posture and everything. Like Miss Girl was in there sitting, and I was here for it. I thought both of the ladies looked absolutely beautiful. This interview did seem like it came shortly after they got out of the villa. Why Kiki chose to hold this interview so long, I'm not sure. What I will say, and I say that it happened right when they got had to be shortly after Olandria got out of the villa because she still had her braids in, whereas Shelly had time to get her hair done, right? Another thing, when I was watching this interview, I was hoping that more questions and certain questions would have been asked, right? And, because I wanted to get their reaction to some of the things Huda may have said in her interview with Call Her Daddy and stuff, right? And just other things that's been happening online. It's a few things. One, I was kind of glad that they didn't kind of go into her as much because I did not want them to have to deal with more of the backlash, the racist comments, and different things on their page. Okay. I didn't want them to have to deal with that more. But what I also caught was the reason those questions were likely not asked, and I felt like with this sit down that Kiki did, it was more of a conversation to me than like an interview type of thing, because the conversation just naturally flowed to a point where sometimes Kiki would cut them off, and they may not actually ended up finishing a point like that I wanted Shelly to make or whatever. So it was just like a natural flow, natural conversation between friends. But seeing that Olandria's hair was still the same shortly after the villa lets me know that this interview took place likely before Huda's interview was released. So when we got Huda's interview last week, these ladies had already filmed it. Kiki drops a episode on her podcast. I believe it's every Tuesday, I think. So with that kind of makes sense as to if anybody has any questions like why y'all didn't talk about this or why didn't y'all address that? That's likely why. Okay, based on the timing in which it was recorded. And who's to say Kiki still would have really asked them questions and whether those ladies would have answered it in an effort to like escape a lot of the hatred that they've been receiving. Like literally in my personal has been unwarranted. I don't think that it was necessary to me. And nobody's saying folks can't have opinions about stuff, but it's just them taking things like to the extreme. Like we saw Sierra's DMs not too long ago when we talked about that, when she posted it and people were talking about how they hate her and they hope she gets essayed and all of this stuff. Like it's like the people crazy. They're crazy. And I just really wish we knew exactly where some of these folks were. Because I do believe that, yeah, a lot of them are Americans, but I also feel like a lot of them not even in America. Okay, and they just talking all kind of SHI. But anywho, all in all, Kiki Palmer gave them a platform to talk about things, and I do hope that she goes on to have somebody else like maybe Ace, maybe even Ace come on the show. And I just want us to tap into some of the things that the lady said. And some of it, we already kind of heard it before because Olandria has done some other quick like interviews, with other people outside of the villa, but we haven't necessarily heard from Shelly. Shelly has been keeping it real calm, real quiet. She hasn't really been saying much. Her nor Ace, they finally came out with a statement on last week. And actually, Olandria did finally come to her page and make her statement in her posts and stuff as well. But Kiki did ask them about once they exit the villa, do they get to talk to a therapist? And that is something that they do talk to. If you guys tuned into Miss Stang's interview on last week, then you would have heard her talk about the amount of time she about went in there talking to the therapist or whatever she had going on. So there is somebody that is there on site and getting ready to prepare them from coming out of the world of the villa and entering the world of America again, okay? And all of the backlash and the positive that they're going to receive. Now, Shelly says that she was kind of happy to leave, though. She said, listen, I was kind of like over it a little bit. She said, I felt like I won because I got my man. Right. And I have to agree. I feel like, yes, everybody may want to win the show because I do feel like people may exist in the villa and forget that, we're actually filming a show. This ain't just for fun. Like, there is actually a prize if you make it to the end. Right. And I think, yeah, as much as people may want to win that money, they also want to have a person. So just to be able to leave with your person and not leave your person behind, then, I can understand why she may feel like she won. So she said she was happy, to pretty much go. They did meet with the therapist. They also do other side things. I guess those side things would be like talking to the producers. It's making me think how you on board when you come to a company, then you got an off board, right? Making sure you turn in everything that you need to turn in. And then also, like I said, y'all doing some interviews and all of that. Ain't no telling what else. So then they also get their phones. That's when they get their phones, right? So she says that they kept telling them that this year was big, but she didn't know how big they was talking because she was like, last year was big. Like, it can't be no bigger than last year was. Well, it appears that it was bigger. And can I say, excuse me, I hate that this season was as big as it was because the season wasn't even a good season. So I feel like a lot of people that got introduced to Love Island USA, this is not the format. So as they go on to watch the next season, they're going to be expecting people to probably show up how this season was. And it's like, y'all, we missed out on so much. Like, they didn't, like, this is not the normal way. This is not how that went. Okay. If you want to see the true version, just go back and watch season 6. I would just tell people avoid season 7 altogether. Just go to season 6, please. Just don't even worry about, like, if you want to know how it's really supposed to flow. So I hate that. I just hate that it's big because it was really the controversy surrounding the show. And that's the thing. It's like what made the show big was the antics and the stuff people found out about Islanders outside of the show. Yes, Ace and Nick and Taylor contributed to the bigness with the whole trying to get Jeremiah out and how they were going about playing the game. Which then later gave Huda giving certain moments that caused a lot of, again, controversy online. But I feel like season 6 gave a good season because it was about the show. Like, it was about the connections. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was about the couplings. It wasn't really about how people were playing the game and different shit. Like, I can't explain it, but watch season 6 and you'll get the difference. So Kiki talks about the racial influx this season. 1000%. 1000%. Y'all went crazy. Not y'all, but them. Like, I can't. Like, I pray to God we never have another season like this again. Like, I don't know what Love Island needs to do to make sure that these people don't experience that. Like, granted, you can't control the viewers, but I don't know. Y'all gonna have, I mean, do y'all need to, granted, the people gonna do research anyway, right? Do y'all need to not put their social media out there in the beginning, not tag them? I mean, I don't know. Put certain restrictions on, maybe go ahead and have some spam filters or some hate, like filter certain words on their page to where they can't send DMs. Like, I don't know. Y'all gonna have to do something because the people gonna get crazier and crazier. Because I feel like when I think about housewives, sometimes when people start doing stuff like that and all this controversy. I feel like people look for that in the next season and create a bigger and bigger situation. So I don't know. I hope they don't experience this, but there's really no way around it, I guess. Now, Kiki brings up that situation, and she also brings up the BuzzFeed. Because remember, and we talked about that here on the channel, when BuzzFeed decided they were going to make breakfast for all of the ladies and decided that Shelly should receive a knuckle sandwich. And I'm so confused, and it still doesn't make sense to me till this fucking day why anyone from that platform would feel the need to give her a knuckle sandwich, right? Especially with it being a white fist, especially with these ladies already receiving backlash, threats, and everything, being labeled as mean girls and other stuff. And then you guys add to it with that, with the racial undertones that you guys have. I feel like that was totally fucked up. But then let's put that to the side. Again, why would you need to give her a knuckle sandwich anyway when nothing that she did was a problem? If she felt the way, she still gave herself the time to calm down by not even having a conversation with Huda. Where was you, Zach? When Huda was doing all that talking all that shit. When Huda ran up there and damn near threatened Iris on something, can we have a conversation? So much so everybody in the villa spooked. Why y'all ain't come up with what y'all was gonna be serving people at that time? What was y'all gonna give Huda at that time? Huh? Because that didn't make no sense. But anywho, so Shelly says she was completely confused, okay? Coming out of the villa and seeing that, she like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? Like, what is all of this? Like, why do I have to have a knuckle sandwich? I think she was in a place of just complete disbelief. Like, I can't even believe this is happening. People coming for me left and right, and then you got this publication that's doing it too. Like, what is going on? I would have been confused. I would have been shocked. But Shelly, let me tell you something. Your people handled the fuck out of them. Now, I don't think BuzzFeed has issued her an apology to this day. And that is something I wish Kiki would have mentioned on her platform. Right? I wish that somebody would have brought up on that platform how she has yet to get her apology to this day. And we are waiting. I remember them trying to say they were sorry or whatever. But I don't feel like it was one that was directed directly to Shelly. Right. It was more so, I don't even think it was an apology. It was more so we were made aware and we're handling it and we're going to make sure that it was taken down. And we won't do this moving forward or whatever. But it wasn't like an apology to her for what they did. So I wish they would have brought that up. But Shelly says, despite the negativity, she definitely appreciated all of the support. And I feel like in the midst, up until this interview and even beyond, I feel like continue to send the ladies love and support. Because I can imagine how many of them are still continuing to receive the threats that they receive. And especially when I look at the timing in which that interview was likely recorded, right? After Huda had her interview and it was so much conversation, I guarantee y'all the hatred that was in their comments and in their DMs amplified yet again. It may have seemed like it dialed down, but it amplified right back up. And I say that for Shelly, because for Olandria, I don't think it dialed down at all. You know what I'm saying? I think ever since she came out, it's just been a pile on. Okay. So definitely continue to send them the support or whatnot. Let's see what else we have. Okay, so Kiki says that she loved how Olandria was very forward with saying who and what she wanted when it came to Taylor. She was always clear about what she wanted. She never wavered when it came to Taylor, although Taylor definitely wavered and switched up. Now, she also asked them about what made them go on Love Island, and Shelly says that she was reached out to last season. She was reached out to be on the show last season. And she was open to it, but I don't know what happened. I don't recall what she said happened as to why she didn't go last season. But I guess she didn't go, but she was reached out to last season, and she ended up, I guess, when she was reached out to again this season, she went back and watched all of last season, and that's what she was like, oh, this is what it's about. Okay, let me do it. I guess she didn't do it because she wasn't sure what it was about, but I don't think I could even imagine her being on last season. I think they picked the right people for the right ones. Okay, I will say that. Now, what was shocking to me was that they've been on Miss Olandria head top. They have been on my girl Olandria's head top, y'all. They hit her up in 2023, 24, and 25. I think she found she did the right time. Timing is always important. I think this was the right time for her. Right now, they both said they was not for to be no Casa girls, and I did hear what Shelly said that she was manifesting to be the main girl. And now, y'all, the Huda Rats gonna be mad, but I'm gonna say it. Now, when I hear Miss Girl sat over there on Call Her Daddy, talking about how she manifested as well to be a main girl and not a Casa girl, but you always wanted to do Love Island, but then turned around and said it was new for you, like you didn't understand what a bombshell was. I'm wondering if you took the words that Shelly had, because you damn sure kept Shelly name in your mouth. So I'm wondering if you heard Shelly say she manifested to be on this show, and then you turned around and used that too. Because, you've lied enough for us to not believe everything that you say. Now, they talk about the application being extremely long, and they didn't understand, like, why we got to answer all these damn questions? Like, what is all this about? And then they learn as they're doing the challenges. This is where everything comes into play. Now, they do speak on Austin, and I heard Olandria, because they were trying to find out, do you think the guys or anybody in the house was lying on their application? And they were like, the guys were. But then saying Austin wasn't lying. And I'm like, I refuse to believe. Austin, whatever Austin was talking about being a macho man, this pool guy that gets all these women and everything, when Austin came up in the villa, he didn't give none of that. He actually gave very insecure. Well, I'm not going to say not insecure as far as, like, I'll say this. He just didn't seem very sure of himself. Okay. And maybe that's because they didn't have his options there. I feel like the ladies he may have been interested in weren't interested in him. They was more so interested in the black guys, for real. So, he just wasn't always sure of himself. All right. Shelly says that she did really like Austin, and she realized that one day when she was sitting on the toilet, child. I said, not you sitting on the toilet, bitch, and you realizing how much you really do like Austin. Now, what kind of shit is that? Anywho, so Shelly says that she was okay with being eliminated because she found her person. She felt like she won. And Olandria says that she didn't see it with her and Nick. Like, everybody else saw Nick Olandria from the beginning, and she didn't necessarily see it until she started to watch the edits. And let's speak on edits real quick, because that's what irritates me about some of these interviews the Islanders do, including this one with Keke. I will say, all right. Them not watching some of the episodes, right? And I feel like, I know they say that a lot of the media companies are like vultures, and they're ready to go ahead and get the thoughts from the Islanders and stuff, and that's fine. But also think about the questions that you're asking them, because they don't know the narratives that's being painted on the outside. So when you ask certain questions, like, they can't really answer it. Because honestly, in my opinion, I felt like for a lot of it, for Olandria, when she would speak, I felt like a lot of the edits, the way the show, when I talk about edits, I'm not talking about edits of the show. I'm talking about the edits people create on their own to create a certain narrative, right? I even saw somebody, shout out to them, girl, they put together a 2-hour Nick Olandria movie over there on the Twitter. Yes, okay. A compilation of all the different clips involving them telling a story from beginning to end. It's like 2 hours and some change, I think. Yeah, they put a whole thing together. Now on TikTok, a lot of people have created like their own edits where they'll piece together certain things and all of this stuff, okay? And we'll get to that later when she talks about Clarke. And I just feel like y'all really allowing these edits to kind of drive y'all a little bit, and I need y'all to go and watch the show to understand what they gave us, okay? Understand what they gave us versus what the fans are trying to give you. Go and see what production was feeding to us. And that's what we would want, at least for me, okay? I would want you to clear up what production was given to us. Because also, I will say this, everybody does not see the edits that they see, meaning the TikTok edits, the social media edits that people have been creating. Everybody didn't see that, but all of us watched the show. That is why I need y'all Islanders to watch, especially before the reunion. I need y'all to watch yourselves. I know it's cringeworthy, but you'll get over it probably after the 5th episode, okay? Maybe the 3rd one. But watch that and then speak to us from that point of view versus the edits that you're seeing other people do. Because Olandria does reference an edit in this particular interview. And I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. I ain't see. I didn't see that. I don't know what that is, right? But anywho, I do have a problem with that. But she also confirms that they were tested a lot, but this isn't something we haven't already heard. They were tested a lot when it comes to kissing and stuff like that. They're always tested. Nick even confirmed that when we all thought he had a little something on his lip, it was something on his lip, but it wasn't what we thought because he got busted in the lip playing a sport. Okay. Now, Shelly was asked about Ace not wanting people to touch him. And he didn't want nobody touching him but Shelly because he'll crash out about Shelly. And she was like, no, that's really not the case. She says that he's really a hugger. And at night, he would just hug everybody. So I guess Ace is giving lover boy, but that's not the energy he was giving to Amaya. And I understand if that is how production um edited for us to see, but at the same time it still to me doesn't make any sense when you're on a show that's about touching and feeling and kissing up, rubbing up, touching up on feeling up on each other. Why is there an issue if she does touch you or if she does call you babe? You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest, like sometimes it's a little side, like a side eye when you come on these type of shows, but then you want to all of a sudden kind of have boundaries. Girl, get me later, honey. Get me later. Get me later. I understand you might need to have some boundaries, but when you come on this show and then you like, oh, don't put your hands on me, don't touch me. Oh, don't call me babe. Don't do this or that. It's like this is the show that you're on, but I do respect that he has, his boundaries. I have to, because if the roles were reversed and that was a woman and a guy kept touching her, we would be on his ass. Like, you heard her say stop touching you, regardless of what, touching her, regardless of what the show was, we would likely be on the woman's side with that, right? If the roles were reversed. Okay. And I mean, I do kind of look at some people sideways too, when they be like, I'm a slow burn. And it's like, why you came on this show? Do y'all know how fast this show move? Because y'all be with each other 24 hours. How much is happening? Like, and you coming on here talking about being a slow burn. Don't be surprised when you get eliminated, But I get it, I get it a little piece. Anywho, so Shelly says that she's been with Ace Haney. She's been with Ace 24/7 since she left that fucking villa, I tell you that. Still waking up to that man. Now she live in Florida. He's out there in LA. Y'all think she gonna move to LA? Let me tell y'all something. Excuse me, Shelly. Olandria. Y'all wanna like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all wanna like room up or something like that in LA? I'm just trying to ask a question. Do y'all want to go and be roommates in LA? Just get a big enough unit to where y'all really feel like y'all on two different sides of the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, really get like a roommate style or something. I don't know, get like a townhouse. Like, get something to where maybe you got your own entrance, she got her own. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So y'all company ain't bumping into each other like that. But then it would be normal, right? Because if Olandria is continuing to date Nick, Shelly is continuing to date Ace, like, it's just a party. Like, it's just like the villa. I think that would be a great idea in my personal, because y'all have lived with each other for like a month or so. So I don't see it being an issue if y'all just decided to go ahead and room together at least for a year or two while you're out in LA and y'all are making y'all moves. I say consider it, okay? Because that's where y'all guys gonna be at anyway. So and another reason why I love this is because not only is Olandria from the South, but Shelly is too. Even though I get it, Florida is more fast paced, more than likely. Well, it depends on what part. I would think. When I hear Florida, I think of like Miami and down, southern Florida. But I feel like that area is like more fast paced than Alabama, but at the same time, you have somebody that you can relate to, and you don't have to feel like you're out there in LA really by yourself, because you'll be there with your good girl Shelly. That's just what I think. Somebody that you could trust, got your back and stuff. So I think that would be smart. So Shelly speaks on Taylor and him switching up, and she says that she thought he was always genuine because he would just come to her, get advice about Olandria, like how he should move, what he should do, seeking help. If he need to complain about her, like Shelly was the go-to person for him. So when she got back and she was at Casa Amor, she was really shocked. Now, I'm not shocked by Shelly's answer. I'm more so disappointed a bit in not getting this information from the producers, y'all. Not getting this information from the producers. And I say it every video, so I'm not gonna say it this time. But anywho, okay. I'm not shocked by what she's saying, because remember Ian, the person that narrates the show, he even said that he thought Taylor and Olandria were so locked in, like he thought they would go on to win the show in like the first week or two, like they were on track for that. So to see that she was a bit surprised, like I get it, okay. But obviously, I guess production saw something that we didn't see. Like, I mean, because they could have showed us the moments where they were really vibing, but instead they showed us the moments that, because that's a really big thing to me. No matter how much, and let's be honest, no matter how much Taylor would have been up under Olandria having amazing conversations, they're vibing, they're blending, even if it was Clarke, if he would have went to Ace and said the physical attraction is not there, we would have questioned everything, period. Because whether we like it or not, and editing was trying to make a certain narrative, he still said that out his mouth. So yeah, we would have been questioning that if he would have said that to Ace about Clarke. Like, what the hell going on? So, yeah. Um. So there's that. Olandria says how things went in the villa was very different than what was shown to us, and it's like, well, see, here's the thing: you don't even know what was shown to us because you ain't even watched the show yet. You don't even know. You ain't watched the show. You only watched the edits that the people been sending you. She says that she never knew he wasn't interested, and she would have rather be a person's friend than to look like she chasing somebody. Like, why would I go after a person that told me that they're not interested in me? And I'm like, but that's the thing. He never was going to tell you. The goal was for him to only tell Ace. That's who he told. It was never for you to know. We all know that if he would have told you to your face he wasn't interested, we know you wouldn't have talked to him. He would have never got as far as he got. I wish he would have kept it a book in the very beginning, because as much as to her, keep in mind, in her face, Taylor played himself out to be this great guy, this dope guy. Oh, you're pretty. Oh, you this and that. All this hyped up stuff. But what the editor showed us, and although I get they may have been doing a narrative, at the same time, it came out of his mouth. He would say and do things that let us know he wasn't interested like that. That again, go watch the show, not the edits. Go watch the show. I'm going to say that a few times throughout this video. So Kiki asked about what made her tell how she truly felt, right? Because y'all know for a minute throughout the villa, Olandria was very much so like poised, she was just like very much so in control of herself at all times for the most part. Even when my girl got eliminated or kicked out of Casa Amor, she still maintained her strength until the end. You know what I'm saying? I want Olandria to always know, being the oldest child, feeling like you always got to be the strongest child. You do not always have to bottle up your emotions. Girl, that's what I tell, my oldest son, and I'll tell anybody, honor your feelings. Now control your actions, but honor your feelings. So if you feel like you want to cry, I don't know why that is really a weakness. Really, you know what I'm saying? Like, honor how you feel in that moment. If you're upset, be upset. If you want to cry, cry. If you're happy and you're so excited, like, oh my God, I didn't know this was going to happen to me, don't hide your smile. Don't hide your excitement for something. If exciting things are happening to you, you deserve all of that shit. Like, yeah, get that. 1000%. But it's also control your actions. Okay? You can be upset, you could be hurt, you can cry, but you don't have to inflict that pain on nobody else. Okay? But anywho, when she kind of blew up at the standing on business though, and she kind of snapped off, I was here for that though. I'm not gonna hold you. I was here for that, leg still crossed, but she was going off, and I said, "That's what I'm talking about. You ain't got a kick, scratch, throw a motherfucking thing, but I will be heard on today. You gonna hear me? You gonna hear me on today? I know that's right, girl. Let them just, yeah, okay." I feel like she controlled her emotions, but she honored her feelings, which is, I gotta get this shit off my chest. Okay, and it may hurt your feelings in this moment, and I understand, but at the same time, I've been bottling up a lot. I've been taking a lot, left and fucking right. I'm about tired, and I just want to express myself. It is what it is. So, she talks about that, and yeah, so she talks about how everything went in the villa and everything. Kiki asked her about how what made her tell how she truly felt versus maintaining her poise, and she just said she was really fed up. I just dealt with a lot of stuff, and I just really couldn't take it anymore. And if we're gonna talk about standing on business, that was the best time for her to do it. So Kiki asked about Taylor, all the respect that he had for Clarke, not wanting to even kiss anybody else or kiss Olandria in the challenge because he had so much respect for her. And Olandria did throw Taylor a bone, and she said, "Well, listen, I have to say, when it came down to the blindfold challenge, yes, I got up and I went and kissed Ace, okay? But he didn't get up at all. And she felt like that was having respect for the coupling that he has. Okay, y'all finna tap on me. Let me tell you something. I don't think that had anything to do with Olandria. I think that had everything to do with Taylor. Taylor did not go and kiss anybody because one, I don't think he saw anybody else there that he was really interested in for real, for real. And then two, he also said it out his mouth that he wasn't just going to be walking up to somebody and just kissing on them and they don't know who he is. Remember? So for me, that was more about how Taylor felt about it versus the respect that he has for you. When you asked him about it, he didn't say, "Oh, well, I didn't do that because I respect our coupling and I don't want nobody to get the wrong idea or whatever." That's not what he said. But when it came down to not kissing you in the challenge, he said that he just didn't want to. He didn't want Clarke to feel no type of way. So I understand Olandria may have felt like Taylor never showed her any of that, that he wasn't not interested because dudes will play in your face all day, right? Dudes will make you think they like you all day, answer your call, chit chat with your talk with your whole time. The girl they really interested in is the one they probably over there chasing. Okay, that's the one that they probably gonna give some more time to if she can make herself free. Okay, so I feel like dudes do it all the time, but if she watched the show, then she will see what it is America is saying, and then it will make her reflect back and be like, "Huh, you know what? He did da 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 da." Yeah, go watch that show, mamas. Go watch your show. Y'all know another thing I want to know? This is what I wish Kiki would have asked at the end because she was asking questions at the end. And this is popping up in my head and I don't want to forget. And she says, truth or tea. And she said, you could phone a friend. The question I would have had for Olandria was for me, and this ain't a big deal to nobody else but to me. When you got eliminated and kicked out during Casa Amor, what was your family's reaction? Call your mama. I want to talk to the queen. Call mama. Okay? I just wanted to know, what was your thoughts? How are you feeling? Like, what were you thinking in your head in that moment? And then how did you feel when you learned that they never kicked your daughter out and that she was returning back to the show? And that's not a big deal, but that's just for me. That definitely would have been one of my interview questions. I would have had to know. I just want to know how the family felt. So, Olandria says that no, okay, yeah. So she talks about her and Nick being kicked off out the Casa more. So this is where we're at. And she says that she thought something was there, but she wasn't sure. No, Olandria, listen, there were times, because I guess you are slow burn, that I definitely questioned it. I wanted it to happen so bad in the beginning when Nick kissed her in the blindfold challenge. But as we continue to progress away from that challenge or whatever, I started to see it less and less as well. And when they coupled up during Casa Amor, it was giving forced by the producers, but I think the producers were trying to get them to see that, hey, something is actually here, right? I did not really believe it until the last few days, the very last few days, probably the last 2 days of the show. And that's when I was like, oh my God. Actually, it was after the family came. And matter of fact, that's interesting because Olandria kind of talks about that, I think, in other interviews where that's where they wanted to give it more of a try. I guess she felt more relaxed in that, right? Knowing she had acceptance from her family and especially his family being a white family, being from Alabama. When she said white men in Alabama are typically, for the most part, not all, but a good amount, traditional, she not lying. Okay, I know I went to school with white boys. It was very much so traditional. They may have had some crushes on some black girls. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? You may have had one or two that actually had a black girlfriend, maybe one or two. One or two, not that many. Okay, out of probably 100. No, ma'am. Okay, hello. The other few may had a little piece of crush, but they already knew how it was going down, and they knew it was gonna go down like that in the household. So I understand her feeling like, he may have been like very traditional with that, especially in this climate. You know what I'm saying? So, but to get that approval and stuff, I saw her guard started to come down more and more with Nick. And I'm like, okay, y'all was on to something. Like I was on it with y'all, then I jumped off the boat. And then now I'm back on the door. I'm back at the door. I'm back at the door of the boat. I see. It's coming down. The walls are coming down. She's getting more relaxed. And what I think, I wish we could see them now outside of the villa, because that's where I feel the true bonding is happening with them. When she said he allows her to be in her soft era. Keep in mind, Nick is a nurse. So it is his job to cater to people, right? I feel like you got to have a special heart for stuff like that. So also being a partner to Olandria, just hearing him taking her phone just a little bit, like, give yourself a break, like take that phone, like, I mean, that may be not so big to some people, it may be small. I feel like that's a big thing to me, because you can really get lost in comments and the world of social media and everything, and just being by her side, supporting her. I have no doubt that she's in her soft area. I don't doubt that at all. I think that they make it, like I said, if it doesn't work out in the long run, they're gonna be the best of friends for sure. Okay, so I love that for her. Getting back, so she says that it wasn't something that that she thought was there with Nick. Like, well, she thought it was there, but she said that she wasn't really sure, right? She never knew this man kissed her in the first challenge. Never knew. When I tell y'all, production dropped the ball, and I feel like they knew they dropped that fucking ball so bad. That's why they went back and paired them up for that date, because they fucked up in the front end. And that's what y'all should have did. When y'all brought Nick and Olandria back, y'all should have gave them an iPad. On that iPad, y'all should have revealed the blindfold challenge at that moment, so she would know that he actually kissed her in the very fucking beginning, because they never knew that. Y'all allowed those people to go get eliminated, go on a date, and get their ass right back in the villa, and not once did she know. Had she known that, I think her guards for him would have come down even much more sooner. Yes, she would have thought about Sierra. Yes, she would have thought about Sierra, but I also feel like it would have changed her mindset a bit, because it's like, wait, before Sierra really even got in there, he was already on me. Right? So I just feel like that could have helped out some. That could have helped some stuff. That's just how I feel about it. I just blame producers, but whatever. So she said she assumed he wasn't interested in her for real, because, she sees most white men as traditional, being from Alabama. So she was just like, oh well, what I'm saying? I doubt he's into me. Um, Apple Chan, thank you so much for being a member. Thank you so much. Until Nick, oh, okay, she said until Nick let her know that she was definitely his type. That's what Nick said. But Nick, you also said that Bella was your type to a T. So what is given to me, I don't got no type. That's what I think. I don't think Nick really has a type. I think that I think he's attracted to personality. Ultimately, I think, yes, beauty is one thing, but once he really gets to know you and stuff, I think it's just personality, honestly. So they're asked about Sierra being removed, and everybody says the same thing. They weren't giving them no information. They weren't really giving them any information, right? So they're saying they didn't know why she was removed. They just know that she was removed for whatever reason, like, okay, personal situation. So my question is, and ain't nobody asking this question, Shelly, Olandria, come see me. Come see me, girl. Come see me, girls. Come see me. Come see me. I have a lot of questions. Come see me. Okay? Because what was y'all thinking? This ain't the first time this is happening in your season, that a person was removed from the villa. First question is this, okay? I know the interviewer's probably watching this. I'm probably gonna snatch the questions. Baby, snatch the questions, okay? What was your first thought when you're in the villa for the first few days and the first person is snatched up, which is Yulissa? What were you thinking at that moment? Because this ain't the first time y'all experienced that. I want to know those thoughts. In addition, Shelly, what were your thoughts knowing that you chose Ace for yourself? This young lady came and snatched your zigger, snatched him up, girl, and then they snatched her ass up out the villa. How did you feel about that? Okay, boom. You probably feel like you had a chance with him. Third question is this. Okay, when you thought he was going to choose you at that first recoupling, but chose Amaya, what was going through your mind? Because if we gonna talk about it, we're gonna talk about it all. We gonna get into something. We got some stuff to talk about. Like what's happening? What was going on? Okay, so those are three off the top that I need to know. I need to know those things. Okay, so they talk about the Sierra of it all. Don't just ask them about why, girl, see, that my problem, girl. They can't do me, cause girl, they'll be here for 2 hours, bitch. Girl, they'll be here for 2 hours, unedited, ready to chat. So, my question is not just so much as, Sierra leaving and what did you learn about it? I don't really give a damn what you learned about it, okay? I need to know about reactions. Where were you at? How did Nick learn of this information? What was his reaction at that point? Okay. So then at what point did Nick and Olandria have the conversation for you guys, for him to make the impression upon you for you to want to be coupled up with him? Because you did have other options and Zach being one of them. Okay. So girl, I got questions. Okay. Do we eat the box off the top? Is he sneak? Let me not. Okay, that's Ken the man. This is so ratchet. This is not that moment. Okay. Anywho. So let's keep going. So Kiki asked about her and Nick, and Olandria confirms that their connection is real. And this is Olandria said it, Nick has said it, Iris done said it, Amaya has said it. And we ain't even tap on Nick Olandria that's been screaming at us for the whole damn season, okay? But we talk about people that's actually been in the villa, okay? It's looking like it. It looks like they're real interested, baby. Olandria and Nick did this TikTok live, baby. Oh, girl, her hair was long and flowing. Makeup was 8. It was chewing. I said, "Oh my god, this lady's so pretty to me." And somebody said this fake ass relationship. She said, "Yeah, it's so fake, but you watching us, huh?" I said, "Oh, girl, eat them people up, eat them up." I love it. So Olandria, yeah, she confirmed that the relationship is real and they are taking their time. Okay. She did say that she's feeling the pressure though of the media. And I don't think it's just the media. I think it's the fans as a whole. Like, I think Nick Olandria is waiting for you guys to say it's official. I want y'all to take y'all time. I want y'all to take y'all time. I want y'all to enjoy each other. And when you guys make the steps to be in girlfriend, boyfriend, relationship, whatever, I want y'all to be completely sure. And I want it to be a decision wholeheartedly that you two make together and not feeling like you have to be forced together because of how everybody else is going to see it and brand deals and all. Like, no, I want y'all to genuinely choose each other and then continue to genuinely choose each other because that is how relationships last, right? So that is what I would want for you guys. Don't rush into nothing. This is a hectic situation. When all of the hype dies down, because it will, I want y'all to see what it is. Just continue to take your time. 1000%. 1000%. Okay. Let's see. So she asked about Sierra reaching out. Olandria said, "Baby, listen, my DM so toe the hell up. Girl, I'm still trying to get my TikTok account. Hello, I'm still trying to get my TikTok account back. That's one. Two, okay, my DMs are flooded, girl. They glitching. I could barely go through my stuff to even know. Like, I would have to go to Sierra's page and tap over there to see if she left a message. But keep in mind, what I took from that was, Olandria didn't even go check because I don't think she's ready to let Sierra know she's seen the message. Right? I don't think Olandria or Nick are ready to have that type of conversation with Sierra just yet. And I don't really fault them for that. A little. Not really. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, it is what it is. I don't really fault them, but if they want to talk, I also understand if they want to talk. I don't know. Whatever they decide to do, I support with that. Okay? I support. I don't know. I feel like if anything, well, I want to say Nick owes her an explanation, but I mean, maybe they both should talk to her, but at the same time, I feel like no, they shouldn't talk. Like, it is. This is what happens on these shows, right? But if y'all was like click tight, that was one of your best friends, then maybe y'all should talk. Anywho, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. Maybe not. Maybe it is too soon because they are still trying to navigate their situation, figure themselves out when it comes to their coupling before they go on and have a conversation with her. So maybe they're trying to figure them out first. Now, Shelly did say she's talked to Sierra. She said Sierra did leave a message. She was very apologetic about things. She wants to get things right for herself and take accountability as she has before and just move forward. Um, so Shelly says that, she definitely cried when Sierra left. That was one of her close friends. She really felt for her. And yeah, they've been in communication and it's all love for them. She pretty much forgives her for what it is that she did, but at the same time, the forgiveness isn't on her, it's on the Asian community who she really harmed, you know, at the end of the day. So that's that. Okay. For me, I support that because when Sierra released messages to let us know accountability had already been taken a year prior, it's like I'm gonna give you a chance because for me, I have not seen where she's done something else since being checked at the beginning of last year. So, that's that. Right. And then that's another thing Shelly talked about. She's like, when it comes to my friendship with her, like I got to know her as a person inside the villa. So whatever y'all may have learned about her, I'm going off of the experience that I actually had about her. And that also lends itself to Austin. Because although we may have seen certain things about Austin online, they don't know that side. They only looking at how Austin treated them and how they hung with Austin and all and their experience with him. So we may be cringing like, girl, why? But that was one of their islanders. Okay, one of their island mates. Um, they also were asked what's one thing that they feel we didn't see on the show. Okay, what was one thing that they felt like we didn't really get a chance to see on the show. And they said they're genuine connections. They said we all formed genuine connections, even if they tried to the producers tried to paint it out to be a certain way. They said that their connections were genuine, and I'm willing to believe y'all had some genuine connections. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but here's the other thing too. This is where the issue is for me. They didn't watch the show to really know what we saw and what we did not see. That is a running theme. They did not watch the show to see what we saw and did not see. So I feel like when you know that, for me, I think that's one of my first questions that I would ask and likely ask prior to the interview. And that's no disrespect to Keke at all. I'm just thinking about all of the interviews that I've been watching them do, and this is a constant theme of them not watching it, right? I don't really want to get your thoughts from an edit perspective. So now my questions for you will have to be a bit different. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some slip ups here or there, but I would just have to ask the different questions. One, have you seen have you already watched the show? How far into the show have you gotten? Okay, cool. So when you ask another question and you know that they probably haven't made it to that part of the scene, in my head, I'm gonna explain it a bit more, right? And then tell me what you guys were thinking in that moment. And then I'll explain to y'all how it is that we saw it. Right. And here's another thing too, potentially if it depends on how much time you got, and I think Keke has a whole team, and some other folks may have a whole team, and it don't got to be this deep, y'all. That's just me. Um, Maybe pull those clips, maybe pull those like that episode or those scenes or something to show them. Well, this is how it played out to us, right? But then also there's like a running storyline where you can't really show all of the scenes because I feel like there were different things that Taylor did that made us feel like that man ain't really that interested. So they may not be able to show all of that, right? But here's a clip of what he told Ace though. Since they didn't give you movie time, girl, we finna give y'all movie time right here, okay? Anywho, let's see. So they talk about that. Olandria talks about Taylor running to hug Nick. Okay. After her and Nick got eliminated, returned back to the villa, he running to go and jump on Nick and so happy and stuff. And then eventually hugged her. And she was like, well, I feel like if it was the other way around, I think the girls would have did the same thing. Like I would have ran to the girls first too, before I ran and I hugged him. Baby, watch the show. Go see how he really reacted. Because I also felt like everything Taylor did since what's her name came into the show, Clarke. I feel like he walked around on eggshells in an effort to make sure he didn't tick her off or make her feel uncomfortable. but didn't care about how he made you feel. He saw you, went right past you, jumped on Nick with the other guys. He could have hugged you first before he got to Nick. But when he did come and hug you, the hug wasn't like Olandria, baby. That's why I'm so glad you're not with him. Cause listen, he with the right person he need to be with, and hopefully you are too. But the way he picked Nick up and was jumping Nick in the air and spinning him around, no, I don't like that. I ain't like that. I ain't like that. He doing too much. Sit your down. I ain't like all. Sit down somewhere, boy. Just give him a hug and go sit down. You doing too much. Okay. But I also can understand him being, I guess, uncomfortable. Being that, dang, my situation just got complicated because I got this other chick here and now they done popped up with Olandria. Shit. Maybe that's what was going through his head. Let me give a little piece of grace over here. So then, what else happened? So okay, I think we talked about that. Yeah. Okay, so they explained their definition of girls. Okay, meaning not just a great friend and supporter to their friends. Okay, now if you ask me, chances are that's me. Okay, I'm gonna be a girl's girl to my girls. I'm not gonna hold you. I know the people gonna get mad at me about that. I'm gonna let you guys be upset because I just don't feel like this girl's girl thing, narrative people like to put out there is authentic. We always want to say we're a girl's girl. We're gonna automatically support and go up for another woman and all this other stuff until we don't. Okay, and it's just not always genuine. Do I have issues supporting other women? Absolutely not. Okay, absolutely would prefer for a woman to win things or to receive things quicker than anybody else. But at the same time, like, girl, I'm going off of mine first. Period. Anywho, call me selfish, call me whatever. So they explain it, and Shelly says it just means that she's gonna support any woman regardless and have her back. Okay. She said, now if you being shady with me, then that's when I'm gonna have to take a step back from you, okay? Now I am gonna have to take a step back, but it don't mean that I'm a mean girl. I'm still a girl's girl. But it don't mean that I'm a mean girl. Well, let me tell y'all something. I'm over the mean girl narrative and I'm over the girls narrative too. Like, let's let it go. In my personal, because I am gonna be a mean girl. If you think that you get to talk to me any kind of fucking way and think that I'm not going to respond, yeah, I am. And if that's what you would like to label as mean girl, then call me that. Some people like to feel like, oh, mean girl is you're being a bully. No, 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 no. I need you to call that what it is. If you feel like somebody being a bully, say bully. Okay. But when it comes to mean girl, you don't get to disrespect me. And I feel like that is the term people like to use when they don't want you to stand in your true feelings or how you feel about something. Like when you're offended by something. Like, no, bitch, I'm offended. You're being a mean girl. Did you not see this? Did you not see what this bitch did? Basically, you calling me a mean girl to try and prevent me from speaking my piece and from feeling away. I feel like mean girl is really something to me, especially as watching these ladies on the show. Y'all use that term mean girl in the effort to censor a lot of these black women primarily, in my opinion, but to censor women on the show. Like, are you out your fucking ass mind? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be her on today. Okay, so if it's giving diva, if it's giving mean girl, if it's giving bitch, you motherfucking right. Because don't ever think you get to talk and treat me any kind of fucking way and I'm not going to say something about it. Like, are y'all okay? No, I disagree. I don't give a fuck about all that. Like, oh, girls, girl, these girl, fucking girls. Okay, y'all stay walking around to my fuck them kids, fuck them girls. Hello? No, ma'am. Anywho, so that's that. Okay, I'm just talking about other girls, not my girls, not my Shelly and Olandria. Okay. Okay, talk about it. Okay. I match energy. Okay. So if match energy is giving me and girl, that's what it's gonna give on today and tomorrow. Period. Okay. That be crazy. They be ready to label the ladies all kind of things. What the labels be for the men? I ain't hear mean boys. What y'all call men? You a boy's boy? What y'all call men? Y'all be so ready to have labels for the ladies. Where the men labels at? I don't like that. Anywho, so yeah, so then we get to the heart rate challenge. Girl, so Shelly says she still hasn't seen the episode, so she still doesn't know what we saw and why some people made her feel like she was doing too much. Again, baby, watch the episode. Watch the show. Shelly, it was very clear that you were feeling awkward and that the show was over. Production kept the music going, yes, but the show was over once Chris and Shelly got up. The music was cut. Okay, they kept the music going for us because they saw Huda doing too much and Shelly looking like, oh my God, Shelly turned. It was like this, like what the hell, like what is happening? Everybody faces was like, what the she doing? I think that Huda wanted to flex her skills. I feel like Huda wanted to be desired again. I think she was in a place where she wasn't desired. I think she often uses her sexuality, or not her sexuality, but uses her sexiness, okay? Um to sway things. You know what I'm saying? To probably get things to go in her favor or whatever, to get the guys to start liking her because the dudes backed the fuck up off her. You know, and after that Jeremiah thing, and I think she wanted to be desirable again. Like, think about it. I said this in like the first or second week of her and Jeremiah being on the show. I said, you know, one thing Huda likes to do when she's being called out about her stuff, especially by a guy that she's into, i.e., Jeremiah, she likes to then get touchy feely. Then kisses on him. You want to take a shower together? You want to da 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 da. Like, those are the things that she does, right? When things don't seem to be going her way. So I have no doubt about her doing that challenge and wanting to take it to the extreme to make herself more desirable to the guys. Like, oh, you don't like my personality, but I know what you like. I bet you'll like when I clap this ass in your face upside down. How about that? Like, she knew what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. She needed to be desired again, okay? Because too many guys came in here being all up on my girl Shelly, who was giving every bit of mature and demure, okay? But I could have sworn Shelly is older than you too. So, and y'all have different types of walks, all right? But anywho, I mean walks in life or whatnot. But all in all, that's what I think was going on, and she did too much, and you just got to be careful with going on podcasts and lying. Talking about you just danced on that man for 2 seconds. It wasn't like that. But the whole laughing thing that you did really gave it away. And then now when you have Iris and Pepe, who ain't been in no drama, when you got Iris and Pepe admitting that, not even really close to the situation of Shelly and Ace like that, and confirm that you did too much, girl. So Olandria was asked, Olandria was at Oh, I wish she would have asked Kiki would have asked her more about did she ask? I feel like she may have asked about how Ace felt about that, but I don't think it was an answer because I think they were like speaking over each other or whatever. But yeah. So Olandria was asked what her thoughts were on it, and she says, again, I have to watch the episodes. But okay, it was again, I have to watch the episodes. Lord have mercy. But although you didn't watch it to see how we saw it, I thought Kiki tried to explain that to her though, letting her know that they cut it off at a certain point. But you witnessing everything that was going on, like what were your thoughts on it, living it inside of the villa? And she says that, you know, she felt like Shelly was right to feel the way that she felt. And Huda out her own mouth admitted that she was doing too much and she was wrong. So, I mean, that's that. She admitted she was taking it too far. Kiki further validated Shelly's feelings, letting her know how she reacted was very understandable. And if she found herself in that same situation, she would have felt the exact same way as Shelly did. Because it was as if her friend had no regard for her own feelings, but earlier on, you expect everybody else to have a regard for your feelings. So much so that the people that weren't even in the damn villa, that were coming in as bombshells, you expected them to respect your feelings. So if you expect people that have never met you before to respect your feelings and your coupling with somebody, I know like hell you wanted your friends to do that. And when Shelly called her out about that, Shelly wasn't wrong. She was not wrong. And anybody that gave Shelly hate, like, you just don't want to be logical. Because not only did this young lady do that to Shelly in that moment, she turned around and did the same damn thing to Chris. When she told Chris, I don't want to kiss you in public because they don't want people complaining and saying this and that, whatever the BS was, right? But then she also turned around and told him how she wanted him to treat her in public, which is give her more attention. Do this and do that. All of that, in my opinion, is PDA. You want him to show more interest, but are you showing other interest in him outside of the sex in the bedroom? So she's done this more than one time. Okay. Different situation, but still a similar reaction of, wanting things from her but don't want to give you the same thing. Okay. So Shelly speaks on why she was cool after Huda apologized. And she says that when she calls you her friend, she isn't going to jeopardize her friendship or their comfort just to say that she did a great job in a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to go and dance all on Jeremiah and do this and do all of these things. I'm not going to do that. Right? I'm not going to jeopardize our friendship like that or even make you feel uncomfortable because I understand what it is that you have with him. In addition to that, she also said that with these challenges, it's not like we win a big prize. All you win is technically, I'm paraphrasing in my opinion, a pat on the back. All you winning is a great job. You did good at this challenge. So that's all you're going to get at the challenge. So I'm not going to compromise my friendship with you on doing too much with your guy. Right? Which, I mean, that whole dancing thing just confirms the theory that Chris was brought back for Shelly and Huda. He was brought back for Huda as a scapegoat so she could stay in this game. But more so, if he finds more interest with Shelly, then great, because then Huda could get to Ace. That's what that was. She could get to Ace if Chris takes Shelly from Ace. And that didn't happen. And when she saw that Ace wasn't letting up on Shelly, that's when she began to be jealous a bit about Shelly and the fact that she was getting 2 extra pancakes or whatever the case was. So, yeah, she wasn't getting that attention. Anywho, so they discussed the stand on business challenge, and the challenge they said was 6 hours long. So we only saw an hour or a portion of that. She says, but they were there for 6 hours long. I guess it was, I believe the 6 hours with the different camera angles and stuff like that, because there was a portion where it was Nick. It was a clip of Nick. Because remember on the show, Nick never went up and read his envelope or whatever, his mail. However, it was surfacing around, the clip was surfacing around on social media. So I could see it probably wasn't long. They said it was 6 hours. Shelly says that she didn't care how the viewers felt about everybody in the villa, as long as everybody in the villa knew how they felt, because they all stood on everything they had to say and how they felt about each other. I also think they said that Huda's reaction on the stand on business was not really I guess warranted or whatnot. And Kiki goes on to talk about how she does hope that society changes and be open to others' opinions. And that is one thing that we have a problem with in this commentary world slash just media world as a whole, reality TV, all of this and that. Like, people don't accept the fact that others have different opinions than them. Like, it's just an opinion. It's okay. Kiki calls out the fact that people were calling CPS. Of course, Miss Girl mentioned in her interview on last week that CPS was being called about her child and stuff. Now, in my personal, y'all are taking that a bit too far. Y'all taking it too far. Not y'all, but them. Calling CPS on somebody? And you don't even know how they is as a parent, all because you saw them on the show. Now, granted, I understand if you may question things and you don't like her actions and how she may crash out about a man, but damn, y'all really was going there, right? So Shelly said, y'all doing too much, okay? She says, and she says she doesn't stand for hate. Y'all doing too much. She don't stand for hate. She said, y'all don't even know us to be going this hard like that. I said, I know that's motherfucking right. Y'all don't even know us to be going that hard like that. Y'all don't even know us to be going that hard like that. Y'all don't even know us to be going that hard like that. And I had to repeat that a few times because I remember last week I was in the chat with somebody that felt the way because they ain't like my opinions on Huda, and I'm going to give it to you every time. And as I stated, they likely gonna know me before they know you. Y'all don't even know them to be going hard like that. calm down. Okay? Anywho, so they were asked if I think we got into that. Sierra reaching out. Shelly did talk to her. Olandria hasn't. So Keke brought up the first situation that Huda and Olandria had. Remember when they were sitting around, the guys, all, including Taylor Child, stood up to go up there and say they were interested in Sierra when she was the first bombshell to come in. And Huda was like, I don't like this. This right here, I'm like, guys, this is. And she was doing too much because her guy continued to sit down next to her. So I guess she thought she had an upstanding guy because he wouldn't kiss Yulissa. He didn't stand up for the first bombshell. And he was just coupled up with her. He was good. I do feel like that was like some weird stuff. Like, I don't like this. And then she kind of was saying it with a smile. And Olandria was like, don't do that. Like, we're cool. Like, don't do that. Like, we're good. She was like, we'll have a nice little talk about it afterwards. Like, we'll talk about it. But it wasn't like Olandria was really finna cuss you out on it. She was like, we'll just talk about it. And what we do, soon as it's over, she over there running over there to Shelly crying about what Olandria said. And she said that. And she didn't even say it in private. She didn't say it in private. She said it in front of everybody. And I don't know what the fuck it is with you that don't like to do stuff in public. Like, you always want people to do certain things in private. What is it with you in private? So you can be able to shape whatever narratives you want in the public. You said what you said in the public. It was only right for her to check you in that moment. Talking about she did that and she could have pulled you to the side. She could have said that in private. You always want to do some shit in private. But act that it's in public. Girl, shut up. So, what else we got? Yeah, so Keke brought that up, and she talked about the interaction and the uncomfortableness when Huda was doing too much. And they were asked about how often did they have to tone down, okay? How often did they have to tone themselves down as Black women, okay? Olandria says that they had to tone down a lot. And Shelly says, but we were the ones they could come to for the best advice, and we were level-headed. So I didn't even understand the whole thoughts of y'all trying to say that we're mean girls when we were really the go-to people in the villa. Right? But let me see if I have this queued up for us to just listen to a portion of what they had to say.
There was a moment, Olandria, that I really actually liked that you did. Mm-hmm. It's a very lightweight moment. You were like to Huda, don't do that. And then Huda got she kind of responded to that very intensely. Now, when you said don't do that, I lived. Because it's like, I don't need, it's like, to me, how I took it was, please don't give me a moment of pity. This, you know, this is no big deal. Like, I'm me, I'm good.
Yeah. Not Keke said, please don't give me a moment to pity this bitch.
Another day, another dollar. Mm-hmm. Like, and I thought you were just trying to let her know, like, don't give me the sympathy of this, because there's nothing to sympathize with. I lived for you for that. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, I felt, you know, you kind of were now all of a sudden the bad guy, or it was all of a sudden scary. And so that made me want to ask you both, how often did you feel like you had to tone down, you know, as a Black woman on a TV show, or just being a minority, or however we want to put it? It's like, if I just sang a peep or something, it's now
taken out of context.
And
now I'm a bad guy. Now I'm a mean girl. Like, it's very exhausting, to say the least. I truly feel like me and Shelly have to tone down a lot.
Exactly.
To not cross over that boundary, because a person that looks the opposite of us, as soon as they get emotional, it's like, oh, we're going to cater to this person. Like, bro, what about us? Like, I don't understand.
There have been multiple seasons, I mean, and even this season included, where we've seen people cuss people full out.
Exactly, yeah.
But let me and her move like that.
And what's crazy is that, you know, a lot of the times, everybody who's in that villa will tell you that they could always come to us for the best advice, to come vent to us, whatever. We're so level-headed. We're so honest. We're so loving. Like, we bring everybody a peace of mind, this and that. So to know how your fellow Islanders feel versus coming to the internet and seeing mean girl, disrespectful, angry, this, that. I'm like, wow, y'all really don't know us.
There's subtle microaggressions. Yeah. And it's like, just because I'm saying something sternly, it doesn't mean you need to be afraid of me.
Exactly.
That's rooted in something that's anti-Black.
Yeah. Thank you, Keke. Thank you. Thank you. Eat it up. Eat it up. Chew it down. Thank you.
So it becomes an issue, because now I don't know how to exist in who I am, because I can't take my skin off. That's what's scaring you.
Yeah, that's all it is.
You know what I mean?
If it was somebody else to look like us and acted like whatever, they wouldn't be getting as much backlash at all.
Yeah, and so I mean, how does that leave you? Because I do think that's something that I've thought about more in different reality shows, and obviously now in this one, the more popularized. I mean, I remember when I was a kid and I would watch Survivor and I would see these elements. I'm like, now wait a minute, what is this? You know, and I feel the same way here. I mean, what do we say to that? And how do we, like, the next generation of young women that are going to be, Black women that are going to be, or even just multiracial or just non-white, you know, what do you say how they can prepare themselves to be on shows like this?
I
and
don't know if
to
there's a
exist
way
in their
to
truth?
prepare.
Honestly, all I can say is just be yourself.
Yeah.
Because you can't even, like, no matter how much you try to have a certain narrative or portray a certain narrative, whatever is put out there is out of your hands, you know? Like I said, we've been in the village or in the island with everybody to know that we're like one of the go-to people. People love us so much. Like we bring, like I said, a sense of home to everyone. And then just to come out here and find out we're mean and this and that. So it's like, you know what? Stick to who you are. Have confidence in yourself and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Period.
That's it.
I couldn't agree more, because at the end of the day, it ends up being like you can't win for losing. So just be yourself, because in 1 minute, Olandria's too stoic. Then you step in an old boy's ass real quick and she's doing too much.
You see what I'm saying? Like, what the
wait a damn minute.
I can't win for literally, I'm like, bro, like what the
so what? That's what you want me to do.
Literally, bro, I was so hot about that.
Oh my gosh, girl, I can only imagine. But I think you guys did a really good job at wavering that balance. And again, like I said, I know you maybe wasn't something that you're prepared for, but you are representing, and we appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy, you know? What did y'all think about the Huda and Jeremiah thing? Because it had me rolling on the floor when Taylor was like, y'all need to stop. Because it must have been probably like just a lot. I don't know what it was like. For us watching, it was a lot, but what was it like in the house?
No, it definitely took a toll on everybody. Yeah, everyone was tired. Like, we're like, yo, we didn't come here for this.
What was the reason for it? You know, what was the reason for the drama of it? Because he did seem to truly like her.
And he did. He did for sure. But I think it's just like, the pace of everything being too fast, maybe, like, you know, maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, right. Why would Nick do that?
I don't know, he's crazy.
Nick is such a character.
Mamacita?
Like, why was that to a dog? Like, what?
All right, y'all. So that's part of it. They do go on, and Olandria is asked about Clarke, right? And she says she just learned that Clarke was making faces and mumbling, all right? Now, I have not seen these edits. Keep in mind, Olandria has said on more than one occasion, I do believe in this interview and others, that she has not watched the full show yet. She says that Clarke was making faces at her. Now, wouldn't be surprised if she made at least one on child for sure. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I feel like there is the producer's edit and then there's the audience edit. And in my opinion, go ahead and get the producer's edit first to see how they were showing it up. Because the audience could have been piecing together other times where she probably wasn't even looking at you. I don't know. Right? Or even mumbling certain things. Now, granted, she did say something like, I think when Olandria returned to Casa Amor, I think it was like, good morning, guys. And then Clarke was like, good morning, guys. I don't know if that was really shade to Olandria or if she was just repeating it. But if y'all feel like it was mocking, whatever, clearly she must have felt the same way too. But again, I say watch the show. Olandria says that she thought that Clarke was nice. She thought she was a really sweet girl. She said, I kind of, at times, I ain't gonna lie, I wish she was like a mean girl so I could really stock it to her. You know what I'm saying? But she wasn't. She says that she thought Clarke, like she said, was super nice, sweet, until she got out of the villa. She started seeing all this stuff. She was learning otherwise. And she was like, oh, damn. Like, okay, that's what we on? Okay, then, cool. Right? Let me see if there was another part in this interview that I actually wanted to go on to play when Olandria, let me see. Yeah, let me finish playing this piece because she said something.
I wonder about him sometimes.
Right. No, he's funny.
He is genuinely funny.
A character.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, it was just kind of one of those things where it just be turned into a damn twister before you knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you stand with Clarke? I mean, I know nothing really crazy happened with you guys, but I mean, other than what went down, but how was it trying to develop a relationship? And then, you know, there were some moments where she was mumbling a little things. I mean, it was
I just found out about that.
Yeah, it was
so I'm just like,
shady moments, no shade, no tea.
And there was never really any shade on my side. Even when she pulled me first, I'm like, dang, like she made me look a little childish. Like I don't even have that in me to do that. So I was like, dang, I respect her so much. I'm like, I kind of wish she was a mean girl because I wanted to kind of, that would have been, yeah. But it's like she's so nice and so genuine. I was like, you know what? I have no choice but to be nice to this girl. So to get out here and to see that she was moving like that with me, like our, you know what I'm saying, walk by her, she making a face, or is mocking me. I'm like, bro, what? I was never on that with you. That's just weird to me.
Yeah, it seemed like it got competitive because she saw you still.
Well, that's her competition. So there's that. But I'm just saying, because honestly, I truly feel like before I even came into the villa, I already said like I feel like my presence intimidate a lot of people, men and women. I go through this so much, I could just walk in the room. Oh, I don't like her. I give you a reason to. So I'm finna give you a reason to now. You know what I mean? But it's like my presence really makes people so uncomfortable. Hello, clap that, and it's natural, baby. No, so no shade to nobody. But because I know they're trying to do this whole comparison thing. Oh, she look better. I'm like, well, I'm natural. So if you want to compare me to the natural thing of that, whoever that is. That's just my thing.
And I
don't
love
like
when
that.
you stand on your business.
Come on, my good thick Bama sis. Okay, I'm with you because it grinds my gears too. Because everybody else got a little piece of BBL, they think you got one sort of. No. My mama was giving my daddy a piece of that booty the long way, I guess, so BBL or whatever. And this how I had got mine, because my grandmama had gave it to my mom, and my mama had gave it to me. I know that's motherfucking right, girl. I know that's right. Don't be playing with me like that. But at the same time, when she says these things, though, when she's talking about like they're doing this whole comparison and they're trying to say, oh, her body this, that, trying to compare her to, I don't feel like she was talking about Clarke in this moment. I feel like she was talking about Huda, right? Because that's the only person I've really been seeing her being compared to, and then talking about the booties and people trying to say that her butt is, Huda's butt is natural and all this and that. And she's like, no, boo, if you're going to compare me to the natural things, okay? Compare me to the natural things. Do not compare me to a woman that literally went and got herself made up from head to toe. Let's not do that. But that's what she said. Okay, that's how, because I'm like, you can't be talking about Clarke. You know what I'm saying? Because Clarke, she's slim with it and stuff like that. So you must be talking about Huda, because also that's where I've been seeing the comparisons. But that's just my opinion. Okay. But let's keep going because there's more. So, her parents, okay, so we talked about Shelly and her sexuality. You guys know that Shelly likes men, she likes women, she loves who she loves. That's it. What I love that Shelly said was that she never cared about how anybody else viewed or what they would think of her sexuality, because her parents made her feel like she never had to give a damn. I said, I don't know this right. Okay, shout out to them. Her dad just asked her, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I think he asked her or whatever. She told her dad, like, yeah, I actually am. And they talked about it or whatever. Then her mama told her, listen, you don't ever feel like you got to come out the closet with me. The same way you want to approach me and talk to me about talking to whatever guy you're talking to, same thing with the woman. Like, okay, so you date and love and do what you do. And if you need your parents for any advice or anything, we here. And I love that for her. Okay, so shout out to her parents on that. Olandria speaks on America's rankings and how she was really shocked. Okay, she was really shocked by the rankings because she couldn't understand why certain people were in the bottom, like Shelly. I think Sierra could have been at sometimes, and Ace. She was over there thinking like, dang, did my friend betray me? I said, baby, Olandria already thought she was up here at the top with America. She walked in with that type of energy. Now, she didn't say that. But the fact that when she said she got eliminated from Casa Amor, she said, oh, America not going to like this. Right? And she said she didn't know if America was going to like it or not, but that's just what she was thinking to herself. America not going to like this. And come to find out, she was right. America don't play about her. But then also, she's like, dang, for my friends to be rated at the bottom and I'm at the top, they must have betrayed me. They must have did something. And I'm like, girl, it ain't got nothing to do with you, child. It don't. Not really. It ain't got nothing to do with you. But, that's what she was thinking, right? She says that so Kiki brings up Sierra, right? They talk about Sierra again, and the fans feeling like she was too influencer ready, right? A lot of people felt like Sierra was not authentic. They did, and they feel like she may have been put on. They did. She also asked them, did they feel like anybody was trying to portray a certain image? and acting like they're trying to win the show or something. And they were like, no, they didn't think so. They felt like everybody was just being themselves. Like, you got cameras all over the place, hidden cameras everywhere. So they just felt like you were getting people's real reaction in the moment, right? That's what they say. But I also feel like they probably didn't know that somebody was over there like playing the game, because I feel like some people were, especially in the beginning. What else? Olandria wanted to clear up the narrative about them being mean girls. She said, let's clear that up right now, because when nobody know mean girls, we were the go-to girls when we were in the villa. So let's be clear about that. Okay. And we not gonna be the girls that just gonna be quiet when we feel like you acted out of character and you got us feeling some type of way. That's dead. We gonna say what we gotta say, and that's just on pay. Okay. And then there was another portion of the video. Let me see, where was that at? Where they kind of get into the challenge of it all. Let me see if we can find that.
Girls live.
Yeah.
So who got a better edit than they deserved? I'm so excited. Who was low-key flirting off camera but acting innocent on screen?
Like low-key flirting. I don't think anybody.
Everybody was keeping it real.
Yeah, they were keeping it real. Yeah.
I don't think that was I just feel like if cameras are everywhere, they really can't act no kind of way off camera. But again, they got to watch the show to see how people were edited.
Okay. Who was the most performative in the villa? Give names, not vibes.
Performative, as in like
just put on a
ready
show.
for TV.
That's a
What'd you
Sierra
say?
question.
Don't be shy, guys.
No, I'm genuinely trying to think, because this kind of goes with that last conversation of like, was anyone trying to act away? And I don't think anyone was trying to act away. No one was giving performative. I'll say that.
Yeah. All the cameras are hidden. It's not like you got a cameraman in your face. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like you got genuine reactions.
Okay. Who got a better edit than they deserved?
Take it away, Shelly.
Tell that you guys. So let me say this before they even get into it, guys. You know, it's opinions.
Yeah.
No hate, no shade, no tea. Everybody have a right to say how they feel, how they think. It don't mean nothing negative. So let's put this disclaimer before we even get any further. Y'all know y'all want the tea. So, you know, give context and let these girls live.
Yeah.
So who got a better edit than they deserved?
I'm a phone on Islander.
Go ahead, call him out. Oh my gosh, Ace is going to give it to us real. Please don't be in the gym or dancing online again.
Not too much.
Not too much.
Hello? Hey, so I get to phone an Islander for a question. Do you mind answering?
Come on, boo. Hey, what's up, Ace? It's your girl, Keeks. I'm interviewing your boo right now, and I'm asking them some questions. And so she phoned an Islander because she wanted to opt out of answering, and I'm so glad she called you because I know you're going to give it to me real. The question is, who got a better edit than they deserved?
Well, in that case, I felt like there was a lot that, you know, America didn't really get to see from everybody. You know, we all had our ups and downs throughout this whole entire experience, but I feel like they edited what, you know, they wanted to edit, which is, you know, okay in the end, because we all know.
So the answer is Jeremiah. I'm just playing. Okay, thank you, Ace, for that wonderful PR answer. You are the man. Nice to meet you over the phone lines.
Nah, I would love to meet you in person one day, Kiki. You amazing. For real.
Oh my gosh, so are you? We got to have you on the show because you know they want to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, but do they?
I don't know, keeping it a little too real. Got us
Hilarious. All right, I'm about to go. All right, later.
Okay, rank your top 3 kissers from the villa.
Number 1, me.
Period, because everybody wants to kiss you.
Okay.
Even Sarah was like,
So they go on.
I'll give myself number 1.
They continue to play a game. The only thing interesting, what else I took from them asking these questions was, one of them was if they could couple up with somebody in the last week. That was a question that I think Shelly was cool with who she had, but Olandria did say she would have likely coupled up with Chris. She felt like Chris was attractive or whatnot. And since he wasn't going to carry old girl, I guess he could have carried her. All right. So that is what Miss Ma'am had said, child. And that was pretty much the interview. All right. That was the interview. I thought it was a good interview, good conversational interview. definitely looking forward to seeing how this reunion is going to play out, being that they have quite a few weeks to go ahead and watch the entire season. I do hate a bit that the reunion is so far out. I'm like, can y'all make this much sooner? Like, do the reunion in like 2 weeks or whatever versus like damn near a month later. Now, I think it was season 3, I think, was it with Zeta and Timmy? When they won, it was like they did the reunion right there. Like after they announced who the winners were, I could have sworn they turned around and did the reunion right there at the villa with everybody coming back and them just talking to who all they need to talk to or whatever. So it was something like that. But I will say, I don't prefer that style. I don't prefer that style. Especially if y'all not ready to answer and ask all the questions we need y'all to ask. I'm not ready for that style. Yeah, so maybe do like a week or 2 after everything has going down. But also, y'all, I don't know. There was a lot of drama that came out of this episode. I don't know if they want to still focus the show on some type of love and not a whole lot of the drama. So we don't know what's really going to be asked and what's not going to be asked. We do know that Andy Cohen can be very messy and we enjoy mess. Okay. But at the same time, I don't know how this is going to go. Everybody talking about how they're going to be bringing receipts and doing this and doing that. And I don't even know if they're going to let all y'all get that off like that for real. So we shall see. We shall see. But that's all I got for you guys at this time. I do thank you guys so much for joining me. If you have yet to like up the video, please go ahead and like it up. Thank you. We had over 1,000 people in the chat. So if we could get to 1,000 likes, that would be great. Also, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Shout out to all of you guys that have subscribed. You helped me get to 98,000 subscribers. And I think we may have hit that today. So thank you guys so much for, becoming a part of the family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I am watching Big Brother for the people that was over there like, Jamie, you gonna watch Big Brother? I am, child. And I'm getting into the live feeds. I just gotta keep checking because I don't really know when they be playing the live feeds, okay? But I did sit and watch some live feeds, and live feeds be messy. They be messy. I might have to talk about some of them live feeds. But Big Brother this year seems to be really good. Okay, it seemed to be really good. I think we only, 5 episodes in? But if y'all not watching, go ahead and watch. Make sure you liking up the video and definitely catch me over here with some other content by subscribing to the channel, honey. All right. Follow me on social media as well at Jamie That's Me. Definitely go ahead, honey, and find me on the Instagram. Okay. Go help your girl get to like at least 12,000 followers. Like, so. Anywho, love you guys so much. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, honey. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to climb.